Let's try a new one. Let's go random.
Yeah. And but you know what? I did not hate the last season.
No?
And I am psyched for whatever they come up with next. Because they have like 3 different Game of Thrones projects in the works.
Yeah, well, were they gonna do an entire thing about like beforehand, or the adventures of Egg, and you remember the old dude that was in
Aegon?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of them. Yeah. Another was like, which I think would be my favorite idea. Just more of like an anthology of different like just small stories from the world like before the events.
Yeah.
Like
short stories of the world of the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah. Like the Westerosi tales, kind of.
Yeah. You know? I think that would be cool.
Absolutely. I hope that's one of the ones that they're really developing.
That reminds me I should watch the rest of... when Stephanie was still staying here, I started rewatching the extended Lord of the Rings. I should finish doing that.
Yep. Always good to run through that shit.
Because that shit...
once a year.
Like, even though it's like... over 10 years old at this point. Also, it's over 10 years old.
Holds up.
It fucking holds up.
God damn. That's why it's like it's an
really
annual
good.
It's an annual thing. Like I just have to consume it every year to maintain my life force.
I kind of feel like that about the 2 Zelda games, to be honest, like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Like I don't have to do both of them, but like last year I was like, I need to fucking run through one of these games, so I 100%ed Majora's Mask, and then like I think the next year I did Ocarina of Time again. But yeah, like love the fuck out of both of those games. I don't give a shit about remasters or like, oh, the camera's fucking whatever. I don't fucking give a rat's ass. Those games were fun. Went on adventures, blah blah blah.
Okay, boomer.
Fuck you. I posted one earlier today that's it's like back from the fucking medieval ages, and there's this chick who's like spinning wool, and she's like, oh, the industrialization is gonna ruin everything, and the chick sitting on the floor is like, okay, loomer.
Oh fuck. Oh, I kind of hate that, but I kind of love it.
I super loved it. I don't care. I thought it was great. No, I just know a lot of people like just complain about it. Smash cut to the almost hour-long episode of Sequelitis that Aaron Hansen did. It's a fucking hilarious thing. I've watched it like 6 or 7 times, but I don't agree with all of his arguments. I think some of them are just kind of like juvenile and like just kind of bitchy. Like he just kind of fucking complains. I even watched the Game Grumps Let's Play. Throwing shade at the Grumps. Oh my god. I remember watching his Let's Play of Ocarina of Time, and he like the temple he hated the most was the fire temple, and I was like, what the fuck are you bitching about? It's a straight line. The whole fucking temple is a straight line. It's not that hard. And he's like, it's so confusing and blah blah blah. I was like, how? You go there and then you go there and you do that. It's not that fucking difficult.
Yeah, I mean, advocate, I guess. Like people's minds work in different ways.
You're not wrong. To be fair, but just to say that like it's objectively bad because of that. Just
see, I try to shy away from using that word and that implication.
Yeah,
like this is a universal truth that like this thing is good or bad or whatever.
Yeah.
When it's really just your very strong opinion.
For sure.
Right? Like that's
Oh, I hate that.
Scatter bombs. We put bombs in your bombs. That's the best kind of bombs. You could call them maybe bombs.
Bombs. Hey. Yeah, I'll say things that like things are objectively this or objectively that just to kind of be a douchebag because it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking Tools Lateralis is objectively the best thing ever. It's not. It's not the best album ever. It is to me because it means a lot to me because it saved my fucking life at one point. But it's not the best album ever. Like, of course not. Probably not to you. Probably not to fucking most people, but it's a hell of an album, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the only thing you could be objective about are things... I don't know, maybe like science. Science is pretty objective.
Science is pretty objective.
In the end, once they reach a peer-reviewed, like, and proven conclusion, like, you know, like gravity's force is objectively 9.8, what is it, meters per second, or feet per second?
I am unsure, but I believe you.
It's either the force... Yeah, it's gravity. 9.8 feet per second.
Okay.
That is the decided, the indisputable, like, that is the objective measurement of gravity on Earth.
Cool.
Yes. But that's like, you know, yeah, that's objective.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing we are playing on right now is a computer and a TV. Those are objective truths. This is definitely a TV, and that's definitely a computer.
I mean, unless you're into a simulation theory, unless you subscribe to simulation theory, then that's just subjective, because it's all subjective, because this whole simulation is just catered towards your experience.
Well, for sure, and then there's the competing perspectives like twist as well, because my perspective is just what I see, and then it's dealing with your perspective as well, and they're competing together. I mean, yeah.
So
there's all sorts of layers of complication you can get with that.
Yeah. So nothing is real, and therefore nothing matters.
Yep. Everything is true, or nothing is true. Everything is permitted. That's what the quote is.
Yes.
Welcome to Team Attack, everybody.
Oh, good God.
Talking about fucking existence and Binding of Isaac, which, you know what, I'm actually super happy about. Philosophy is one of my favorite things. That's why I love Automata and want to fucking suck its dick so often.
Oh, yeah.
Because that game is philosophically deep.
Yep, I'm gonna have to dip my toes into that someday.
Oh, dude. It's so worth it.
Hopefully soon. I don't know. Maybe this weekend. Maybe like tomorrow. I'll boot up your version of Nier on my PlayStation. I don't know how that works.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, but
I downloaded it when we were drinking.
Fair enough. But even if I have to buy it myself,
Dude, I love that game so much. I'm gonna buy it again. I'm serious. I'll probably buy it twice more because I know I can get it on Steam, and I definitely want to play it for the channel. The only problem with that, though, is that I want to do the original Nier first.
Oh, yeah.
Just because sequential things.
Yeah.
And like, there's so much out of the first Nier that, like they carry on to the second one that just, like, it means so much more.
Oh, right. Yeah, oh, God, yeah.
Although, technically, if I wanted to do it the right way, I should do all of Drakengard 3 first, and then Drakengard 1, and then the original Nier, and then Nier Automata.
Oh, God, right. Drakengard was kind of like a... This is like a foundational lore thing, right?
Well, what's interesting about it is that, like, the buddy who wrote the entire thing, Yoko Taro, actually based the story of the original Nier off of the joke ending of the original Drakengard.
Joke ending.
The joke ending. Like, the super secret ending where, like, they're fucking fighting the space alien super god things.
Okay.
What were they called? The Watchers, I believe? Yeah. And you're fighting them, and the battle gets so intense that, like, you fucking bring them to Tokyo. It tears a hole in space-time, and you end up falling into our world. And that was, like, the joke at the end of it.
Right.
But then he ended up, like, running with that, and it's like, oh yeah, and when you killed the beast, it created this white chlorination fucking epidemic, and all these people turned into salt. And because of that, they had to figure out how to fucking separate body from soul until, like, the virus ran its course, and then, like...
Jesus.
It gets fucking crazy, dude. It gets so fucking crazy.
Oh, boy.
But it's so good. Like, I really love that game.
Like, that's a game I have to play sober, I guess. Like,
well, I mean, you don't have to.
That's a great thing about like RPGs like Spider-Man. Like, it's not intensely story based. You can have fun without.
Is it an RPG?
Role-playing game.
Yeah,
You're
but
role-playing as Spider-Man.
That's Spider-Man isn't a role.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay, so
he's a superhero and he's a good superhero, but is it a role? Because a role is usually like it's like saying a hero is a role. It's not a role.
What do you what?
What is the definition of a role?
Hero is a role. You play the role of a hero.
But then that's stupid because every game out there ever you're playing a hero. At least most of them, you're playing a hero. So wouldn't that make everything an RPG?
A role in a story focused. Oh, this is where you die.
No, I didn't die.
But like, it's more like you're playing a role in a larger story, right?
Yeah, but that's every game ever. Like, doing this right now, I'm playing a role in a larger story.
So, what is the definition of an RPG then? Like,
look it up.
I guess I have to, as I struggle to.
Not to throw shade on the Spider-Man game because I've heard it's fantastic. But
it really is.
As a gigantic RPG player, like I have run into this before. It's like when people say that fucking Legend of Zelda is an RPG, and it's like, no, it's technically not. Or the fucking Destiny is an RPG. Like, things can have RPG elements, for sure, but it doesn't straight up make them a role-playing game.
Okay.
IMO. So what does it say?
A role-playing video game, commonly referred to as simply a role-playing game or an RPG, as well as a computer role... Yes, because I always refer to it as a computer role-playing game, or CRPG.
That is actually a genre unto itself.
Really?
Yeah, so stuff like Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights,
like
the old...
RPGs that are not on console.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
But there's like a specific style to them.
Okay. But is a video game genre where the player controls the actions of a character and or several party members immersed in some well-defined world. Many role-playing video games have origins in tabletop role-playing games like D&D, and use much of the same terminology, settings, and game mechanics. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So like, It's
a loose definition.
Players control a central game character or multiple game characters, usually called a party, and attain victory by completing a series of quests or reaching the conclusion of a central storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Yeah?
Yeah.
I greatly dislike it, but I will admit defeat.
Honestly... Yeah, sometimes we are confronted with an opposing definition of something we love.
I dislike it.
Fair enough.
But I will accept it.
Yeah.
One will never...
I know how you feel.
I will never be a person to say that I do not admit when I am wrong.
I'm just wondering what you... Okay, so
the way that I see it is like I look at it all from where it fucking came from, which is like D&D. It's very essential. Like, defining features come from D&D, and what is that? You're controlling a character specifically stat based, and like taking them on an adventure to create to do whatever fucking. To bring the orbs back to the earth, or kill God with the power of friendship, or whatever the fuck.
Or otherwise known as quests.
Yeah. You're questing to save the whatever. But there's also like a very strong emphasis on like stat use and like, oh, this one's weird.
Oh, what?
Oh, this is weird.
Are you the orb?
Yes.
What? Why are you the orb?
Instead of like having blasts, I just have one that I just control now. I don't like this.
Okay.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
What?
Because now I just have to go like this. and I have to control both of these things at once.
Oh shit! You are both of these things.
I am both of these things.
That was gonna be my next question. Like,
so
who the
like
fuck is that?
that's my attack box, and that's like my hit box in the bottom corner.
Oh, one's the. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's super weird.
Are you like double joysticking this shit then?
Oh yeah, I've been double joysticking it the entire time.
Oh god.
But yeah, it's just like yeah, the adventure thing for sure. But there's also a heavy emphasis on just like stat gains and all that shit. Like there's a numerical aspect to it that a lot of games just don't have. Like you can't say fucking Mario is an RPG with the exception of Mario RPG, which is a great game.
I mean,
and I super recommend it. And I'm gonna play it on the channel one day. And I'm dead.
Like under the definition of RPG, it like Super Mario 64. That is an RPG,
but
right?
But it's not though.
Jumping into every picture is a different quest, basically, right?
It is, but that's not an RPG because the fucking. As I said, like this is
in the loose definition of an RPG. Yeah, it fits.
The fucking
but I get
stupid ass.
I get your kind of like your definition is kind of refined down to something.
It's more specific.
Bit more mechanically. Intuitive, bit more like a bit more like mechanically elaborate
for sure,
right? You're talking about like managing stats and all that.
Yeah, because that should be part of it. That you're controlling, you're micromanaging your character and doing all this stuff. Even in the most simplistic of RPGs, let's say Final Fantasy VII, which I mean you could also argue actually isn't an RPG, but
is there a story? Do you do quests?
Technically, no.
Oh, really?
Because that game is a 70-hour hallway.
Oh, God.
It's
I'm never
also
gonna play that one,
very badly written. If anything, I would say start with that one. Because it's
70 hours of a hallway. Why would you...
It's not
You just told me why you shouldn't recommend this to me.
It's not
And
great.
then you recommend it to me. What is wrong with you?
It's really pretty.
That's not... You know what? I fell into that trap before. Hey, it's really pretty. Let's date it. No. No, let's not fucking do that. Me too.
I think we've all fallen into that at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Goddamn.
Some good smelling beans.
Yeah, Django is quite adept at cooking the beans.
I love me some beans.
But even then, like you're still making your stats bigger. You're making your numbers bigger to do more damage and do the things to make you fucking better at killing the stuff. Mm-hmm. And like,
Spider-Man has that too.
Does it?
Yeah, absolutely. You get different suits and different like abilities and all that. Like,
okay. As previously stated, I've never played it and I don't know much about it. So
fair enough. But also, I mean, okay, it is kind of like not to. It kind like this conversation kind of reminds me of okay, so I got a buddy.
You have a buddy,
and yeah, just the one. I'm sorry, but it's not you.
A buddy.
But
I fucking want to be one. Jesus.
But so he's in a grindcore.
He's in a grindcore.
He's sure super into grindcore. Yeah.
Sure, I'm not this person.
Do you like In Flames and do you see it as metal?
In Flames is metal for sure. They are not grindcore.
See, that's the thing. Well, obviously, yes. Because metal is a giant genre with over 160 subgenres of metal.
Oh, for sure.
And I just called In Flames metal. Yeah. And he said, no, In Flames is not metal.
Yes, they are.
No. To him, in his like little like sculpting of... In his little sculpted world of metal, there's only one true metal.
And that's grindcore.
That's grindcore.
Well, your friend is wrong.
Yes, that's what I fucking told him. But, you know, it's a very subjective thing. Kind of a callback, right?
Except that it's
a bit subjective.
He's wrong.
Well,
no, I know. I know what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah.